Good morning, everybody. It's Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes, and today I'm going to bring you a fun fold card. This one's so cute. This is sponsored by Paper Sweeties, and as a heads up, there is a coupon code, and the coupon code is Erin19, and that information is in the bottom of my video for all the coupon codes. It is good through, I believe, tomorrow night. Again, all the information is in the coupon code. But if you head over to papersweeties.com, they have a ton of different deals and specials and all kinds of fun now, including all their paper dolls, which is what we're playing with today. And the little sets that go with the paper dolls and the dies are all half off. And it's all about their 7th anniversary, which I think is the funnest thing because it's their 7th anniversary in August. And they're calling it like their 7th birthday, which it is. And my daughter just had her 7th birthday yesterday. So it's all kind of fitting that it's just like her 7th birthday and it's their 7th anniversary. And it's just kind of fun. All right. So what we are doing today is we are making this a fun fold card. I'm just addicted to these things. I just think they're so much fun. And even though this one looks super complicated and there's lots of little elements, it is actually really, really simple. Look how fun this is. Look how cool. I love it. And instead of doing paper, you could totally do another stamp there. There is a lot of options that you can do with this card. And I just used one paper pack. I actually pulled out, let me get it from the floor. I'm running out of room. I picked out, because I knew I wanted to work with this doll, and then I picked out a paper pack that was just fun, bright, cheery, happy. You know, the colors were all, stick fun. And this was my color scheme. And then I just matched everything from there. So everything from the star that I'm using to the papers that are in here. The papers are double-sided. So as I flip-flop the papers over back and forth, or they get used, you can see both sides, which I absolutely love. And so there's lots of really fun papers. And we're actually going to change up a little bit of the design from this first one to the second one we're going to make together. All right, so good morning, everybody who's jumped on. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to assemble our card. And if for any reason you jump in later in the video, if you're watching after the fact, no big deal. But if you're jumping in later, well, you're not here yet. You can always watch the video as a rerun. Okay, or it'll be live shortly. So the first thing you're going to want to do is there's a whole bunch of little cuts. And you guys know I will always put the measurements of the card down in the information section. I'm going to move all the little coloring stuff because we're going to do that at the end. We're just going to assemble for right now. So I know there's little bits here, and you don't have to use as many pieces as I am using, but you can if you want to. They were all, I have them all written down, and they're all going to be in the video here shortly after I'm done filming. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to start with the base of your card. Now, usually I have a card that opens, and then we kind of build from there. This one, you're just starting with a flat base because the part of the card that opens is coming from this sheet of paper. So this is an A2 size card, which means 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This sheet right here is measuring at, and I have it written down, 3 3¾ by 11. So we're going to fold this in half. And I have decided I want to have the pretty, and this is where the 2-sided paper makes a big deal. If you want to use cardstock, you could totally use cardstock for this. Just make sure it's 2-sided. But I wanted a fun pattern paper because I was using just a white blank. You could also make this a color. There's so many ways you can do this. All right, so this runs the same length of my card. You're just giving yourself a base to work from. And then when you open it up, you have, if I can get this thing to open with my fingers, here we go. You have this pretty little insert right here, just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? So if you have a fun pattern paper on the inside, it really does make kind of a big oomph with your card. So that's why I picked out a paper pack, because it was just easy. I'm going to use my Xyron adhesive to stick everything down. You know what? I think, oh, no, I'm almost at the end. I have a spare refill right next to me. I know I'm at the end of my refill when it feels like it gets harder to roll. So there we go. But I get every last little inch out of my adhesive as I possibly can. I hate wasting it. I'm going to get them all. Good morning, Bay. How are you doing? All right. So here we go. Opening it up just this way right here. So flip open. And I didn't do a very good job. I can tell I didn't center this very well, and that's going to bug me. So I am going to rip off, add a little more. And actually, I think that's still sticky. And I really want to make sure that I center this right on here. Yep, I rip up my cards all the time if they're not quite right. There we go. All right. So this is the base of our card, which would be a cool card to have just in general. And you could have your card do this. I mean, that's just kind of a fun card. It looks a little different, but it's the same size as an A2 size card. So truthfully, if you wanted to, if you're just thinking about the way your card lays, you could have your card flip up and then out. It doesn't have to be a vertical card. You could go either way with it, which I think is kind of fun. All right, so the first step is we've got that down, but that would just be kind of a fun card too. That gets me thinking. All right, the next step is we have our little insert that we're going to put in right here. And for this, I am going to stamp this part real fast before I lay that in there, because if I screw up, I can flip it over, stamp the other side before I stick it down. So here is my ink, and then I grabbed another, it's right here. And I am working with, this is the Madison doll. She's super cute. And this, we're working with, it's called the Aloha. Links are down below in the information section. And she's got a whole bunch of little sayings. I did pull a different saying for this first card. I pulled one from, it said, hip hip hooray, wishing you an amazing day. I just thought that was a fun one. But I thought I'd change it up and we do a different saying on this one. So we're going to do hello sunshine for the front. Let's do sun, sand, repeat. I just think that's kind of fun. I wanted something that was a little more vertical, that it wasn't just one line, but you could do whatever you want. I mean, you could just do all the hashtags, relax, hello, enjoy. You know what? I'm going to change that. I like that. We're going to line those three up because this is more of a, I don't know. The set is meant for summer, but I'm kind of at the end of summer, which is totally cool. But I'm trying to show you guys that you can use a set for more than just what it was intended to. So here we can do relax, hello, enjoy. I mean, I can relax and say hello and enjoy, or hello, relax, enjoy. I don't know. However you wanted to do it. So hello, we'll do hello first. And then we'll say relax. And then enjoy. Yep, enjoy. Oops, I do this every time. I try and flip my stamps. If you want to get your stamp positioner out, that's fine. I am just going to freehand these. Okay, so does that look, ooh, flying. And you know what, there are grids on this thing and I'm totally not even using them, but I'm going to because I am not lining these up very well. So I'm using, this is from a Simon Says stamp. It's I like it because it's got little florets on it. But it's got a grid line on here that I can see. Oh, I'm doing it again. I keep flipping my stamps around backwards on my stamp block. The other thing I like is because I've got a whole bunch of different stamps going on. For instance, I've got these ones set. I don't have to take them off, pull them off. And if I was using my Misty or a stamp positioner, I'd have to keep pulling them off, putting them on because I'm doing this in a different order. All right, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. All right, stick it on down. Get my ink on here. Here we go. And then this is a vertical card. So I want to line this up. Oops, there's a little smudgy on that, so I'm not going to use that. Line this up right smack in the center. And did I do it? Yes, I did a good job. Woohoo! And then I'm not worried about trying to pull this off. I'm just going to step my stamp block off to the side because I'm done with that for now. And I don't have to worry about trying to reposition that stamp at this moment. So now I can go ahead and set this in. Now for my other card, I didn't do this, but I do want to do this. And I can just do this super fast. You know me, I love my little hash marks. I just think it adds a little something. It's so fast, so easy. I'm using some Arteza pens. I love these things. They're kind of like my go-to little pen right now. Ooh, it's starting to get a little, there we go. I just hit a funny spot in the card. Have I used it so much I'm out of ink? No, there's still ink left. There we go. I've been using a ton of these. I don't know. I've been in love with doing, it's like a stitching mark. And I'll do them in different colors too. I don't just always do it in black, but I do better if I go down versus up. I get a better stitch. And I do better if I go from left to right versus right to left because I'm just used to writing words from left to right. It's funny how we get used to stuff. There we go. And then go ahead and stick this down. So this goes right in the center of our card. Oh, okay, good. That came off. All right. Hello, relax, enjoy. Hello, Alini. How are you doing this morning? All right, so there we have our first set of cards that flips over. Now we're going to start building the rest of the cards. And these are a bunch of little squares. The biggest square we have is a 3x3. The reason why it's 3x3 is because we're putting it down as a diamond. It is this backdrop diamond right here. And if I go any bigger than a 3x3, it's not going to line up correctly. So we line it up as a 3x3 right here. And then you can start playing around with what pieces. Now I've cut a whole bunch. I could do this black one, which I actually did as the background over here. But I think I'm going to do the green dots. That's what I have kind of decided. So it just creates, you know, when you do that. Now this one, sorry, it just creates a really cool lining up. I don't know. I just like the diamond with the square. It just looks cool. Technically, this is a 3x3 and this is a 2 3/4. They would mat into each other. And you could make this a 3x3 if you wanted to, but I chose not to, mostly because I wanted it to hide underneath the top flap and not be seen. So this top square is a 3x3 as well. So if you notice, I'm kind of changing up the patterns. Here's that floral pattern on this card. The stripe is going to come back in a little bit. I could change it up and I could make, well, I cut this one. This is going to be the stripe that goes on the top, but there's just all kinds of fun colors you can play with this. All right, so go ahead, and I got to be careful. It's not much, but I don't want to glue all the way to the sides because this flap opens, right? So you got to make sure you don't put anything in that top corner, which is fine. Just goes kind of in the middle right here. And then I know this is going to be my corner that goes top and bottom. Just come in and center this as much as you want. If you want to get out a colored paper for this, you totally could do that as well. Any and all of those things would be absolutely fantastic. Oh, I screwed up already. I screwed up. Okay, there's one little, the piece that we need to go like this hides underneath, and I screwed that up. It's okay, we can get that up. Pay no attention to what I am doing. No, just kidding. Okay, we need to score this at 1.5. I knew I was missing a piece. So I'm just going to come in and do a little scoring on my paper trimmer with just, actually, I pulled this out of a scoring tool. It's like a scoring mat. I pulled it out and I'm using it as my score and as my bone folder, and it's working fantastically. So it's scored at 1.5, and you're basically going to line this up to be right smack in the center. So I'm just going to fudge this and lift this up. We'll re-adhese it in a second. Put a little adhesive on this section right here. So it's on the 1.5 section. This whole thing is 3.5 inches by 1 inch. So 2 inches is what your flap is what you're using. It works just to be about perfect. So just try and get this as centered as possible. I'm lining it up. Now that I have my diamond down, I am going to use that as it's going to be right smack in the center, and then make sure it folds over. Okay, now I think I'm good. A little more adhesive. There we go. One nice thing about Xyron is that as long as you do it pretty quickly, you don't wait too long. Oops, I have it upside down. That doesn't help. If I waited another hour to do that, it would have ripped everything. But if I do it pretty fast within putting it down, I can kind of pull it back up and stuff. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Danielle. How's everybody doing? All right, so just gotten up. This is the fun card we are making today. Look how cute this is. I love it. Okay, I'm having too much fun. I just love these cards. So make sure, oops, I got to pull this guy out a tiny, tiny bit. Hopefully I still can. So I'm just checking my fold here. Normally I would not have, okay, let's see. All right, I'm good. And if anything, if it's still having a problem, you could just kind of fudge your fold right there, but I think I'm good. All right, so next I'm just kind of showing you where we're lining up. We are going to put our other square down, which I've decided is going to be this green dots. I know, I just love this pattern paper pack. All the colors work. I don't have to think. It all just works. And we are at the end. I get to refill. I know I'm at, see, you can even tell I'm totally at the end here. So I'm just going to pop a new one in. There we go. Little refill cartridge. And heads up, if you ever get any of your Xyrons and the colors don't match, like this one originally, this is an Anna Griffith one. It came with like a same color insert, but they all fit. There's no one that doesn't work. There's purple ones. There's, I don't know. There's all, oh, can you guys hear that difference? And I can feel the difference, how easy it is to roll it because I was that close to the end of my tape runner. There we go. We'll line that up right there. The next thing is I have a little square here. I made a little smudgy on there. I don't know how I got that on there. And so I'm going to line up on this card. I did it. It's driving me nuts. But at this point, I didn't notice it until this morning. I was building it yesterday, and I knew what I wanted to make, but I didn't get around to it. So again, my daughter's birthday yesterday, which is very fitting for Paper Sweeties for their 7th anniversary, their 7th birthday, because it was my daughter's 7th birthday yesterday. I just thought that was so fun. We went and had rolled ice cream. I've never had rolled ice cream before. I'm going to do my hash marks on here. So it's very cool. You pick out your flavor, and it's not like you get to taste your flavor like any other ice cream shop, like with soft serve or with rolled ice cream or anything like that usually, or like with frozen yogurt, you can go up and taste test it and see which one you like. And this one you have to decide, because then they make it in front of you. They take milk, and it's a sweetened milk, and they put it on top of a big plate that is already freezing cold. So it's got dry ice. And so it starts, or liquid nitrogen or something to that effect. So as they pour the milk on top, it starts hardening, and then they start scraping it all around, and then they spread it out, and they take a big scoop, and then they roll it so it turns into this big roll. It's really quite cool. I know, isn't that funny about the 7th birthday? And so you have to decide what flavor you want, because the base of the milk they pour is just vanilla. It's just plain white milk that's sweetened. So you could ask for vanilla, which 2 of my kids did. They just wanted plain old vanilla. They didn't want anything else. I'm going to go ahead and run my little star through my Xyron, because I want to get it all sticky. And I didn't do that with this one. And there's little pieces that are sticking up. I was just going fast, and I didn't think. So I'm going to change that up. I have also pre-cut her little flip-flops because I did not want to get those lost, which we'll come to. So we'll come back and add our star later. As I'm building, I'm going to add the pieces I need to stick later. So I picked out key lime pie. So they actually took a wedge of key lime pie. So when they poured the milk onto the big cold plate, they put a chunk of the key lime pie, and then they start kind of mashing it all up, and they start scooping it in. And by the time you get it all flattened out, the key lime pie, the crust, the top, the whipped cream, all of it is already embedded all in to the milk, which is now frozen, and then it rolls up. So it's all mixed in together. It's really quite cool. I don't know. I had never heard of it either, but we just got this rolled ice cream. It was across the street from the restaurant that she wanted to go to. She wanted Mexican food. She loves tacos. Can't blame her. I like tacos too. And so it was just fun. It was something different. None of us ever had it before. It was a little bit of a learning curve, and so we all had to learn that, but it was cool. All right. She got strawberries. So she had strawberry ice cream, but they took the milk and they took fresh strawberries and chopped it up and put it in. So you could do chocolate. They would take real chocolate chips, banana. I mean, you name it, whatever, guava. They had all kinds of Nutella. Apparently that's a big fun one, is Nutella ice cream with fresh strawberries on top. All kinds of cool stuff. Okay. Sidetrack. Who wants ice cream now? It does sound yummy. Good morning, Trisha. I didn't see you pop on yet. Late, but finally here. Nice to have you. Okay, so here we are putting our card now. Now I have to decide. I'm not going to see the yellows. The part we're seeing is this piece. Originally, I had the flower. I think I'm going to stick with that. I really liked this flower. The yellow would make me feel like I would need to put something else on here, like another sentiment or something. And I didn't want to. I just want the pattern paper. So I'm going to go with the busy paper. So what I'm doing is I'm going to lay this down right here. And then keep in mind how much is actually sticking. And this is just logistics to try and figure out how to do this. Put a little bit of adhesive, and I want this to line up just perfectly. And so then, look at that. It lines up just perfectly. See? Ta-da! Very cool, right? All right. The next piece is this piece. And it lines up perfectly in here, but it always, every time I fold it open, I always feel, maybe because it's not flat, I feel like it's angled. I don't know. As long as it works while it's here, I'm good. The next piece is I have the part that goes on top, which kind of hides most of the little flap, right? And so I could pick that piece, but I want the stripes. I like the stripes. So to make it work, what I've decided, the easiest way to do it is I open up my card, and I basically, because I made, this is 2 3/4, and the other square is 3 inches. So it hides this piece. And therefore, when they fold over, it's a 3-inch square opposite a 3-inch square. One's turned and one's not. So it just kind of adds a neat effect. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add adhesive all the way through onto this paper. So if I didn't stick this one down all that great, don't worry about it. Just go in and add adhesive everywhere else, and it'll kind of finish it out for you. and then lay this guy as a mat right smack on top, just like that's it. And look how pretty that, I love the two colors together. I think they just look so pretty. So gorgeous. And then there's your little flap. Look how easy. Like I said, it sounds complicated. This is a little more complicated than some of the other fun fold cards I've done, but it definitely does work. So look, we've already got the base of our card going. Fun. And you could totally turn this into whatever you wanted to. You could add all kinds of fun stuff. I've gone a little vertical with this, but you could keep it centered right just in here, and that would look totally cool as well. All right, just because I have another element going on top of here, which is my girl, I want to make sure that she doesn't get lost in the stripes. So I am adding a white sheet of paper on here. And I had debated, because most of my stripes get kind of lost, making this piece smaller, but then I thought, no, because it's already looking kind of busy, and then I'm adding more on top of that. So let's kind of neutralize it out with a sheet of white paper. So that's what we're doing. I don't know why I always flip my paper over the other way around, but there it is. So as a heads up, this will be my last live video for a little while, and I don't know how long I am going to be out of commission for lives. I actually have a surgery on Tuesday, and so next Wednesday I won't even be with it. I don't know how much I'm going to be with it or not. I've pre-recorded a whole bunch of stuff. I've pre-recorded enough for the next 3 weeks. So there'll be Wednesdays, 3 Wednesdays, and I'm hoping to come back by the 4th week. So we'll see. We'll see how well I function and how everything goes. But I might have to take a week off, and if that's the case, I am very sorry. It all depends on how well I can recover. So, but I will be looking for comments. I can comment. I just can't. I don't know how well I'm going to talk. I have to get my thyroid taken out. And I've heard for a lot of people, sometimes your voice, you're like a whisperer. My voice might sound really different the first time I come back and do a video. We'll have to see. I am a tad bit nervous about the whole scenario, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Apparently, I have decided to grow a baseball-sized growth in my thyroid. So, yay. It's not cancerous or anything. They did a bajillion tests to figure that one out, but it's impeding my swallowing and my breathing, and yeah, all those fun things that you kind of need to survive. Yeah, it's having a problem. It's also affecting like all kinds of other weird things. My sleep, it's affecting, yeah, because it's just throwing my thyroid off. Anyway, little side note there. Okay, there is another element I want to add right here, which is this large star. I felt like if I just had the girl and I didn't want to center her, I felt it looked kind of funny. So I put her offside, but it left this empty gap. And I thought, well, if I have a star here, and there were already these pre-cut stars in the paper pack we're using. So back to my paper pack, it had all these cool elements. I got this thing like 3 years ago. So in the back of it, it had all these really cool stars. This is the Die Cuts with a View paper pack. So I'm just popping this guy out right here. And going to, excuse me, there we go. So I used the smaller star. This was, I only had 2 giant ones. If I had 4 big ones, I would have put a bigger one here, but I didn't have 4. And it felt funny putting a smaller star when I was lining up this card. So I'm going to use the bigger one here. And so again, because I don't want my star, because look, it's doing this. I just used the tape runner, and it didn't line up very well. So through the Xyron it goes. And so now it is time to do our girls. The card is done. Now it's just a matter of embellishing. The only thing I did ahead of time was I did stamp this in case I messed up so I could flip it over. But now you can kind of go wherever you wanted with this. You can have all kinds of fun. You could just put a sticker here. You could do whatever. The base of your card is done. And I think they're kind of fun. I think they're cool. All right, so let's get our girls on. So this is Madison. Here she is. Really easy. So she is this little girl right here. I already stamped her. I just pulled out my big stamp block right here and then colored her in. So the key thing you got to think about is she also comes, you could just use her like this. It looks like she's got like a little swimsuit on. She's got a cute little belt, little shorts. My daughter would wear shorts like that because they're frilly. But you also can get matching outfits. And so the outfits, which is what we have here, so that's paper dolls, which I think is super cute. You can go through and you got to kind of keep in mind how big the paper doll. So taking a look back at my little girl over here, I don't have to color everything. So all of her outfit she currently is wearing, don't need to worry about it. I just need to worry about her feet and her arms, her part of her neck, her face, and her hair. And we're just doing very, very simple coloring. I'm going to start with the hair first. And I was playing around with trying to shade it and doing all kinds of stuff. And why did I pick the colors I'm picking? Well, it's because I picked the colors that I am. I am very pale and I have brown hair. So I made her into me. But you could totally make her into whatever you want. You can give her blonde hair. You can give her red hair. You can give her, it's your doll, your girl. Have a blast with it. I just mimicked her after myself. Would have been cuter if I did my daughter. She has a very light brown hair, but as I don't have a ton of brown colors, and I'm having to mix match a ton of different brands as it is. I'm using some Copic, I'm using some Arteza, I'm using some Spectrum Noir. I mean, I have to kind of jump around and use because I don't have a full set of anything. So you know what? Guess what? They all work fantastic. Everybody's happy. So I'm just going through and coloring her. The cool thing with that is that you can kind of come in and add more layers of color on top. And so you can make kind of strands of hair, and it does look like you've layered. So that's kind of the fun thing about a alcohol marker is there are some layers of color with just the one marker I have found. I am still learning how to do a lot of my coloring, and I have not gotten into how to do highlights and lowlights with hair and skin tone. So it's a learning process, and this was one of the first hairs I have ever done. And I tried to do a little bit on her. And so she's got some colorations, and I'll show you what I did. I mean, it's really simple. It's not difficult to kind of do what I did. It was, and to me, it's hair. It's kind of like a flower. You really can't make it wrong because hair is multi-toned. Okay, so I'm not going to put the brown away. I'm using the same brown. The only thing I'm doing is I'm pulling in a little bit of a blender tool. So this is just a blending tool. And I just kind of went through. And whenever you use a blender tool, what I have found is it kind of bleaches it out a little bit. So you can kind of hit some tops. Usually the top of your head's a little lighter. You can go lighter or darker with it. The tips of your hair are usually the darkest. I'm kind of following the guidelines that she has already on. So look, it just adds a little bit of something. It's not multi-cut, it's a little bit more multi-toned. If you're like, oh, I went too far and I did it with her, you can always come back and be like, okay, well, I'm just going to add a little more, you know. Apparently I cannot color and do wavy lines at the same time. The key thing is doing not just little tiny strokes, but kind of, and they'll blend into each other. So there, you got a little bit more of a multi-toned hair. That's the best I can tell you. Be cute for a Christmas card. It would be cute. So I love how you can take one design for a card, but you can go so many different ways. Think about if you just had like a Christmas paper pack and how fun this would be to have all these fun things. And you put a really cool, just a couple of different fun sentiments and, you know, like a little Christmas tree in the front here. Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff you can do with that. Trying to see if anybody else. Darlene, hello. Let's see if anybody else has come on yet. There we go. That's what we got. Okay. So next we got to do her skin, and the best color, and I always test it right off the side. And again, I picked a skin tone that worked really good for what I look like. So I'm not trying to multi-tone her skin. I'm just doing straight coloring because I have not learned skin yet. And she's so small, like the amount of stuff that I would have to do for her face, I don't know enough yet. I will get there one of these days. I don't need to worry about most of that. I do need to get pretty high up in her arms. I'm looking at what I already have done. So I have to get pretty high up in her arms. And Paper Sweeties has more than one girl. And the differences in the girls is like what their hair looks like. And, you know, just a few little things are a little bit different. I also don't need to worry about doing too much of her legs. There we go. And for those of you who just jumped on, Paper Sweeties, it's their 7th anniversary, so their 7th birthday. Totally fluky with the fact that it's my daughter's 7th birthday yesterday. I think that's so much fun for those of you who missed that. And it's 50% off of all the paper doll items. So the paper doll, the little clothes that we're going to put on her, the die cuts, everything that has to do with the dolls is all 50% off this month. And then I have a special coupon code. It's Erin19. Information is down below. It only lasts for a couple of days. It gives you 25% off your entire order of all full price items. So let's say you want to pop a couple other things in there. The dolls are already set, so you don't have to worry about that. You can't use my coupon code on top of that. I believe you can. So you can load up with some girls and some paper dolls. And let's say you wanted to add some other fun little elements in there. They have other stamp sets. So this was one of the other stamp sets. They have some little planner ones, which are kind of cute. So they have some other ones that are cute from the store. And I love it. It's just a little mom and pop store. And it's here in the US. And, you know, it's just one of those little fun things. And they have a whole bunch of giveaways and stuff to go along for this entire month. So go check them out. All right. So now we got to die cut her out. So I'm going to line up my die. There we go. Stay put. So all the girls have a die, but I don't think all the clothes have die. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% for sure on that. So just line this up real fast. I'm making sure that I put it in 2 spots here. And I'm just using washi tape. I do have that amazing purple tape from ThermoWeb, but I can't find it. I have it, and I put it somewhere so I wouldn't lose it, and promptly lost it. How many of you guys do that? I'm going to put this in a very special place so I don't lose it, and I can find it again, and then you never find it again. It's like, ah, crud. I'm going to make sure I don't forget this. Yeah, and then you don't know where you put it because you put it somewhere stupid. Go figure. Have I told you guys how much I love my little tiny die cutter for stuff like this? I don't have to pull out my giant one, and it's just so easy. And look, she pops out like a charm. And look at that. Ta-da. I love how compact and easy, especially for card makers. And I could totally take that to if I was going to go to a crop. I have gone to a crop recently, but prior to that, I want to say it was like 2 years since I went to one. And there she is, our little Madison, super cute. Okay, so now we have our clothes. So what I did, and look how small a piece of paper it is to get her clothes. I think that's so nice. It's just a tiny little bit of scraps. So pleasant. So here we have her clothes. On this set of clothes, I made her shirt yellow and her pants green. And the reason why I picked the pants to be green is I'm trying to match the colors. So I was looking at my stripes back here going, what clothes? I didn't want to do, sorry, my nose is super itchy if I sound funny. I didn't want to make her clothes completely clash with the background. So I found a yellow that matched, which is an Arteza yellow. I found a pink that matches, but it's kind of a peach, which was, again, another Arteza. But the green I had from Spectrum Noir. And this one's got 3 colors in it. So it worked out really well. I did die cut. In case I screwed up, I did that. But I already pulled out her shoes because they were so fussy. And if you can tell, her little feet with the shoes are already on here. So we're going to do the dark one first. And for this, I think I'm just going to keep the same colors. I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I could totally flip-flop. I had already colored her shirt, but if I was going to redo it, and I might redo it on this to make a 3rd card, I could totally flip-flop and make her shirt the pinky one and her belt the yellow, just for something fun. But I don't have I could not find another good pink or a yellow to do the pants. And the reason why I feel like the pants need to have 2 colors is because it looks like they've been rolled up, like they're full-length pants that you've rolled up, like jeans or something that you've rolled up the top. And the inside of the pants are usually a little bit of a lighter color. And so that's where I was going with that. And so this particular marker was already the perfect match, and it had a lighter tone that went just wonderfully with it. So I'm just doing a single color right here, making sure I don't look like I've got tons and tons and tons of streaks. Oh, so here's a question, because I've been taught 2 different ways. Some people say always, see, I'm doing circles. Always do circles when you're coloring, because then you don't see the lines. And some people say no, do lines. And maybe it's for different, like for lines makes sense for the hair to me, not circles, because you want it to look like strands of hair. What have you guys been taught? All right, so now I'm going to the lighter color. It's just, this actually has 3 tones in it, and there's 1 lighter color again. If I can get the top off. This one's being stubborn. There it goes. There's one more color right there. So there's 3 tones in this. It's kind of neat. So I'm going to just do the mid-tone. So I did the darker and then the mid-tone. I don't know. What have you guys been told about coloring? Circles? Oh, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. All about this. I was whining about my surgery. Oh, I got to do her other thing. Okay, before I cut. Now I got to do her belt. So here we go. So circles are lines. Get her little belt. You know how many hours I spent last night, well, yesterday, matching colors? Nope, this one's not quite right. Nope, this one's not quite right. Nope, I got to do this one. And once I have it, it's like, oh, this is so easy. These look perfect. These match wonderfully. Look how cute it looks with the papers. Because look, it goes really well. Yeah, there's a lot more behind the scenes when it comes to figuring out the colors. But it did make it so much easier when I already had colors instead of trying to match paper to my markers, because I have more markers than I do tones of paper. I think that makes sense. I did the papers and then I just matched the markers to that. I like the way I did that better. Sometimes I have a very set way that I want to do my colors, and so I have to go backwards on it. But I think I'm going to start figure out the papers first and then match the coloring to go with that. It works so much better. All right. I decided also, because we had these gold stars, I was going to make this little flower on her belt gold. So I pulled out, and again, another brand again. Here we have a Faber-Castell, and this is a gold marker. It actually looks very metallic. It matches the star, which is what I loved. All right. For the clothes, I do not have a die for that, so I'm going to fussy cut. And I love this little scissors. This is a Fiskars. This is a spring-loaded soft touch scissors. It's great for people that have arthritis because it bounces back on you. I love it because it has very good precision on the handle, and I don't have to open up and close. I'm doing lots of little cuts. I can come in here and do a tiny, tiny little cut right here. And I would have pre-cut this, but I wanted to show you the coloring. And I just wanted to show you how easy it is to fussy cut something. So I have bought some stamps, and I have stamps. I don't have the dies for it. And I don't have like a brother scan and cut where it's going to cut the dies out, you know, just by scanning it and cutting around it. So my choices are have dies or fussy cut. And sometimes I look at some of them and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not fussy cutting that. That's a pain in the tuchus. But some, when you think about it, this is pretty just straight lines going down. This is not super complicated to try and fussy cut. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, look, that's it. It's done. I probably wouldn't want to do that 40 times, but to do 2 or 3 times for a couple of cards, totally doable. All right, I'm going to run her through. I'm not going to run her through because look, her top and her feet are not touching, and I don't want it to get sticky because it's going to make my card stick. But this little guy, we can run her through, and I'm going to run her through sideways because that way I'm not using as much of my sticker maker, and then I can hold this little guy off later. All right, the last thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp Hello Sunshine. I loved it, but there are some other ones because I liked, and this is just a me thing. I have a vertical on a square. I didn't want to do a tiny little one. I wanted something nice and horizontal to kind of balance it out. So because it gives you that, what I call like the cross. And so there's a few of them in this set. Girls just want to have fun, or sorry, girls just want to have fun sun. And it's a flip-flop kind of day. All 3 of those are super cute. I just was kind of staying away from summer for this card. I don't know why, because I feel like summer is over, even though it's 102 degrees outside. My car said 110 the other day. What the crap? My camera, because I have like one of those backup cameras, my car is blinking on me and telling me, camera is too hot, will not function, can't do it. Ah! And I'm like, yep, welcome to Ditch. But 110, oh my God, that's insane. Oh God, it's nuts. The kids and I basically live in a house, in a pool, and to get in the car, I made the stupidest mistake about not putting my sun visors in my car, even though my car was sitting in the driveway. Ooh, I think I touched it. I messed it up. I did. Let me flip it over. I get in my car and I let because I'm wearing shorts because it's hot out, I let my bare legs, okay, I just was letting it sit so I didn't smudge. I've already gotten ink on my nice new mat. I got to clean this really good because I don't want to mess it up. I let my bare legs touch my seat. Oh my God, that hurt so bad. Oh my God, it was insane. Much better. Oh, that was just, that's why I'm getting it. It's, oh, crap. I need to clean that up before too long. That's okay. I think I've got stamp cleaner. There was still ink on this, and so that's where that ink came from. So, oops, I should have put something underneath. Didn't think about that. Oh, no. I just picked up my paper trimmer, and my little blade just popped off. I'm sorry. I got a hunt for that. So I got to cut. Found it. All right, so here is my blade. All right, I'm just going to trim this up just by my eye. I don't want to make this too wide. So as long as it's pleasing to my eye, I think I'm a tiny bit off camera. I'm so sorry. Just catching up on some of the things. Circles for large areas and lines for small spaces, but I never really liked my coloring. Oh, good to know. If I'd miss any of the comments, if you guys have questions, I will be going back and reading all the comments after the video. I feel like I'm wasting time and you're looking at me doing nothing if I turn around and answer too many comments. I will glance and I will kind of grab what's going on there, but I don't want to waste your precious time. Okay, so which side was better? Okay, this is the crappy side. This is the side that gets the dot. So I'm just going to ballpark and just eyeball it because this is so small. I'm just going to eyeball. Make sure I'm not, yeah, I'm good. And then I'm just making the little fishtail. And it's such a small little piece. I feel like I can just eyeball that. Yeah, I did a pretty good job. Good news is it's so small I could just restamp it and redo it, but I think I did it. Look at that. Hello, sunshine. I have a lot of sunshine and there's no rain in sight. And I know it's bad because we've lived here for 6 years and we even have a sprinkler system. Our sprinkler system cannot, and we're on water restrictions because it hasn't rained in so long, but our sprinkler system cannot even keep up with how hot it is that we have some massively dead grass. Usually in the summer, we are mowing our lawn once a week. We have not mowed in 2.5 weeks because it's not growing. It's like dying with the sun. It's even the parts that are getting decent enough water, it's still barely enough to help it kind of grow. Like the grass is going, ah, poor grass. Not fun. All right. A sidetrack note. I just really am going on tangents here today, aren't I? I also do not want to run this through because there's sections on this side right here that I don't want to get sticky. So that's going to be these two pieces we're going to do on our own. But so we are done with this for right now. So I will save if I'm doing lots of pieces like this. I would try to do my best and not do one tear. I'll try and line it up all in here at once, and then I can just pull off little bits that I need to. The first one I'm going to do is I am going to do the star and go ahead and put my star in the middle here. It also worked out better with the smaller star because then you could see the stitching. So that was nice. Second is I'm going to go ahead and line up my bigger star right here. And I want it to go right about there. So even from top to bottom and this little edge just inside. What could you use if you didn't have a star? I mean, you could totally just put the star in the middle and call it done and do hello there sunshine right in the center. That would look super cute too. But I like the girl. The girl's cute. Just adds a little something. And then let's build our paper doll. So line her up. She's pretty easy to assemble. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Little paper doll. Oops, nope. Didn't do that one straight. Look at her pants are on sideways. Okay. Like I said, Zyron, you got a little bit of time. I'm sorry if you guys are hearing a little bit of background noise. We have our first sick child of the year. I got a phone call today. Please come pick up your son. He threw school. Fabulous. I have a sick child, and they've only been back at school for, today would be day 5. And I get there, and there's a little girl in the nurse's office, and she'd been throwing up. And as we were leaving, another kid was walking and throwing up. I'm like, there's got to be something here at the school. There's no doubt in my mind that there is some sort of little bug. Look at that. Now, in this set, where'd it go? There's some other pieces you could add to her. She has a hat, she has a handbag, and she has sunglasses. So there's other elements. I just chose not to use any of those. I love just the way that, because this is how I would dress, minus the belt, total like pants, shirt, flip-flops. That's totally my attire for most of the year. So I mimicked her after me, was the bottom line. And I would wear green pants and I would wear a yellow shirt. The only thing I would not wear is a belt. I don't do belts. Unless I absolutely have to, but I usually choose not to do a belt. All right, line her up right there. Easy peasy. A little bit of adhesive, and I know that's the bad side because it has the double one there. And then just line this up. And I went a little bit higher so I could see her belt, but you could cut her in half, but then I feel like she's being sawed in half. So I just went kind of a little bit higher and just kind of covered up part of her chest area. I'm hiding her boobage. So there it is. You don't do belts either. Yeah, see, I'm not a belt person. I don't know. I'm jeans and t-shirts, yoga pants. I'm totally yoga pants, t-shirt, and flip-flops right now. So I am very low-key kind of person. Very rarely wear makeup. Hair's usually up in a ponytail. Yeah. It's kind of funny because most of my crafting stuff tends to be very, there's a lot to, it's simple, but it's not, it's very, I tend to go a little more foofy, and my mom's always telling me, your stuff that you do for your crafts is a lot more elaborate than the way you dress. I'm like, well, it is what it is. So here they are, super cute. Look at that, so much fun. And you can change it up however you want. I don't know, I'm just in love with these little cards. I think they're adorable. And I love this little girl, she's cute. I kind of shied away at first. This is just, being honest. I've not really done a whole lot of people. Oh, there's one more thing I want to do. I'm sorry, I forgot to. I tend to shy away from people, mostly because I can't find anything fun. Like I can't figure out how to use them or how I'm going to. And then I came across this design. I was like, this is perfect because she lines up and then it kind of opens up and it's just cute. And so just because it's not something you normally do doesn't mean that you can't try to do it, because I totally love this card now. It's one of my favorite cards I've made, just because, not because of the design, but because she's super cute. All right, I just want to brighten up her eyes. And so I'm just taking that same black pen we did the stitching and just going over, and I want to do her mouth. I'm giving her a little tiny more of a smile, just making her a little bit more noticeable. That's all. So can you alter? Could you give her, I wouldn't give her teeth. That would look weird. But, yeah, you can definitely add more to it. And it also just brightens it up and doesn't look like I've colored over it. I'm just making it a little bit more noticeable. So there you go. Super fun. Yay. Look at that. So cute. I love it. I got to clean up my mat. It's driving me nuts. All right. I got to go check in on my son. So far, he's looking like he's doing okay. He's in heaven because he has the TV to himself. He has the whole house besides me to himself. He doesn't have to worry about his brother or sister going, I want to watch this show or that show. He's the king. And because this is the stupid, well, I get the reason, but on a mom's side, I'm like, because he threw up after school started, they don't allow you to come back to school until a full 24 hours that you've been clear. And so even if he does not throw up again at all, he threw up at like 8:30, which is after school started. So he can't go to school tomorrow either. So 2 days he gets to be home. Little stinker. Oh, he's absolutely fine. I think, he's been sipping on some water and I haven't heard anything. So hopefully we're in the clear. It'll just be easy eating from here on out. But sorry, giving you guys all my woes today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Again, I am so sorry I'm not going to be able to do any more live videos for probably at least 3 to 4 weeks. Depends on how my recovery goes. There will be some recorded videos though, and I will definitely be looking at the comments. I think I'm going to try and do them as premieres, which means I can comment along with you. Probably not for next week because I will still be completely out of it. Surgery's Tuesday, so next Wednesday I can't. But the following 2 Wednesdays, I think I'm going to try and set them up as premieres at 10 o'clock, and then I can comment along with you about the cards because I can type. I just won't be able to do much talking from what I've been told about getting your thyroid out. Your voice is kind of shot for a while. So I hopefully will be able to do a lot of premieres and chat with you guys that way. And I hope you guys have a great month. Beyond me chatting, I won't really be, can you leave comments? I'd love to hear comments. I'd love to read some stuff. If you guys have any great binge-worthy shows, I'll be sitting in bed a lot. TV shows, if you have movie ideas, I got Netflix, I got Amazon. So if you know of any good series or anything, I have tons of time on my hands in the next little while. Love to have your suggestions. That'd be awesome. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Don't forget, Paper Sweeties is located at papersweeties.com. They have a ton of good giveaways, 50% off all little paper dolls. And if you use code Erin19 is 25% off your order of everything that's not already on sale. And they have some super cute stamps, as you can see. This is a couple other of the stamp sets they have. They don't just have the paper dolls. They have a little bit of some other things too. And then they have sequins, and they carry some papers, and they carry a few other products that they don't create, but that they, Doodlebug, they have some of those things too. Some inks and some other stuff. So check them out. All the other links for the supplies I'm using, and also all the dimensions. I have them written down. I just need to enter them in at the bottom of the video. So if you want to create your own card, the same dimensions I have, it will be down there for you here shortly. So bye, everybody. See you guys soon.